Ladies and gentlemen, this is absolutely fantastic. This is going to be a quick and to-the-point segment. Trump considering replacing intelligence chief Dan Coats. Mazel tov, fantastic, wonderful. If he is an obstacle to declassification of information that shows that President Trump was framed, set up, by very corrupt intelligence officials, basically extensions of the Democratic Party. Sorry, if President Trump purchased a Steele dossier through his law firm about Madam Cyberhack enjoying bodily fluids raining down upon her, enjoy the visual, Democrats would be up in arms. And of course, if the tables were turned on every issue, they would be livid. You cannot start a counterintelligence investigation by deceiving FISA judges, by claiming that not only unverified information, but information that's absurd. He worked with Russia to purchase Facebook ads and to infiltrate the DNC to inform the country that Bernie Sanders was cheated, thus stealing the election from the Golden Moo, who actually stole the primary from Bernie Sanders. Again, they are so insidious they even got Bernie Sanders to repeat the same nonsense that said that although he was cheated, it was Russia's fault for informing the country he was cheated. That's not a fighter. That's a person who gets in bed with his tormentors. Clapper and Brennan, can you move over and stop hogging the sheets? It's hard enough to get some good sleep in with Deborah Wasserman Schultz and her giant mane of frizzy hair in my face. It's bad enough that you get Bernie Sanders who, well, we can go on forever. Look. A Steele dossier was purchased by Clinton. Just the other day, a judge told the U.S. government not to talk about the social media firm that was indicted by Mueller because there's no evidence. Mueller never, in the indictments or in the report, never provided evidence that the Kremlin actually ordered social media companies to purchase Facebook ads. That, by the way, were also detrimental to President Trump. The whole thing is an absurd... Look, what they've done, because they have media's help, and they have millions of people who want to believe anything, because they just can't stand Trump's personality. President Obama drinks Flint water, no problem at all. Oh, that's presidential. Oh, it's great water. Drink it. It's like the most purest, glacier water. It's amazing. Okay, it's a shame. That was a shameless publicity stunt. Of course the water wasn't safe. He drank it anyway to deceive citizens. Okay, we can go on forever. Destroying Libya, destroying a nation, an entire country with a failed intervention. Oh, shrug shoulders. At least he's really presidential. You cannot, and I explained in my Federalist article that was shared by Rush Limbaugh talked about for 2 days on his show. You cannot have a counterintelligence investigation when everything is linked to the direct political rival of the person you're investigating. Andrew McCabe receives hundreds of thousands of dollars from Terry McAuliffe and other and Democratic PACs. Andrew McCabe, his wife. Okay? That's a conflict of interest. If the tables were turned, see, Trump is never given any plausible deniability. And it could be, Manafort committed a crime, a financial crime that has nothing to do with national security 10 years ago, and that is proof that Trump worked with Russia. You see, the leaps of logic they took. With Clinton, Bill and Hillary, money flows from Uranium One into the Clinton Foundation. President Obama miraculously does not veto the sale of 20% of U.S. uranium capacity. Bill Clinton gets a speaking arrangement of $500,000, actually meets with Vladimir Putin, and guess who was the FBI director? Oh yeah, Mueller. In charge. There was a bribery and racketeering scandal on U.S. soil. Oh, but that's okay. You can't make any... how dare you? You can't make any conclusion with anything because there's no evidence of anything. Money just flowed into the Clinton Foundation because people were altruistic. And so, ladies and gentlemen, you have Dan Coats, who is part of the old guard. Trump tells confidants he's eager to remove a director of national intelligence, Dan Coats, if Dan Coats leaves. So he's going to pick hopefully somebody who will... Look, when Eric Holder... When they say, well, Trump wants loyalty, yeah, every president does. Every CEO, every business owner wants loyalty from employees, much less the President of the United States. What did Eric Holder say? I'm still the president's wingman. Eric Holder, Politico, April 4th, 2013. Gee, that's another way of saying I am loyal to the president. And he goes on to say how loyal he'll be. So, his attorney general, no problem. William Barr, oh my God, how dare you? And we know that President Trump is completely against Sessions being a senator, which is hilarious, and justified entirely because Sessions was an abomination. But let's look at right here. This is just absolutely fantastic. Rome wasn't built in a day. The people are like, oh, it'll never happen. These people get away with everything. Yeah, they've gotten away with everything. But you can't have CrowdStrike that's outsourced by the Democratic Party telling the United States government, oh, well, this is what had happened, and now impose sanctions, now start special counsel investigations. CrowdStrike is the only entity to look at DNC servers, and they didn't even give their unredacted analysis to the United States government. So I've been reporting that forever in all my Federalist articles and other articles, also in other publications. Paul Sperry, here are some of my stories interviewing former CIA and NSC official Fred Fleitz, who I'm told is on tap to replace ODNI's Dan Coates. Now, Dan Coates is friends with Clapper, and Clapper the other day, I think the other day or last month, said, "Oh yeah, I would resign if I was Dan Coates." So, the best thing that can happen to the country is for declassification. President Trump is going to terminate the employment of Mr. Coates because he is slow to declassify things. President Trump wants to declassify information pertaining to the Steele dossier. You also don't start a counterintelligence investigation based on the nonsense and the gossip of Alexander Downer. Because allegedly, Joseph Mifsud told George Papadopoulos, which never happened, that he knew that there was going to be the DNC hack. DNC hack, by the way, first of all, almost certainly it didn't happen, but let's say it did happen, was not national security. The DNC is a private entity. It's not national security. So, knowing about the misdeeds, the corruption, the nasty, nefarious, insidious, corrupt behavior of Democrats is actually bolsters national security. We should know. We should know if they're cheating their own candidates. That's important to know. So this is absolutely fantastic. Trump's cleaning house. Great. Great. You already have journalists who are at liberal publications getting fed information by the FBI and other intel people. I've gone into it before. That is public record knowledge. The Steele dossier was disseminated from corrupt FBI officials and other people with media contacts. And until we found out that it was complete and utter garbage, people actually thought that Christopher Steele was telling the truth, and there was so many. None of the Steele dossier has been verified. Absolutely, positively none. Absolutely, positively none. And it was used to investigate a president and everyone around him. Whereas you have real criminality, servers outside of the United States government. It was not about, when they say but her emails, like but her emails, that's why I wrote on Amazon, but her top secret emails. Go ahead and purchase it on Amazon. Just type in H.A. Goodman on Amazon, but her top secret emails, but her deleted emails. You will learn everything there is to know about almost everything, about the email debacle. And it was the email server debacle. and top secret emails. When they say, oh, but her emails. So you're talking about Clinton making an absolute mockery of the intelligence community, which it's almost certain that they were in on the whole thing. And they just acquiesced and actually harmed national security to placate both Bill and Hillary. So, per Axios, President Trump was reportedly considering firing Director of National Intelligence Dan Coats and replacing him with Fred Fleitz, who has criticized Coats for being disloyal and called his firing on Fox. Great. Fantastic. Fantastic. We need President Trump to have his own wingman, just like Eric Holder was the wingman of his president. We need Trump to have his own wingman. You have William Barr. Now, William Barr has said, okay, you can declassify things. You know who the next should go is, and who is very likely going to go. We'll see. President Trump's probably not happy with Christopher Wray. Probably not happy at all. You drag your feet on the most monumental issues, and Trump is not going to have it. He was set up and framed. You have John Durham in a criminal probe right now. The IG report, look, don't give too much attention to the IG report. It's going to come out. It's going to give Durham all the evidence he needs for bizarre behavior. The government's going to say, well, on this instance, in this example, in this scenario, we can't really say that in the heart of certain people it was in aggregate the most overt, transparent setup. If you stop a tape and you see like a beating take place, and you stop the tape in every single pixel that's happened before, every single pixel, every single frame you stop, that doesn't look well. The arm's going down, but you just don't, and you analyze everything by removing the fact that time is going at normal speed. Then you can kind of say, well, the law enforcement official or the person doing the, with the baton didn't really mean to do this or that. Bottom line is, if you analyze things, if you analyze a scandalous, corrupt, criminal endeavor without looking at the bird's eye view, and you just take, well, you can't. There's no evidence that the Uranium One officials wanted a quid pro quo, and there's no evidence that Boeing, and there's no evidence that the Haiti debacle, and there's no evidence that UBS, and there's no evidence that this. Well, they just all happened to get beneficial treatment after giving to the Clinton Foundation. Well, how did that work out? Oh, and there's private servers, but that was for convenience. But guess what? There was an agreement that said that the United States government couldn't look at Clinton Foundation emails. The FBI was actually prevented from looking at Clinton Foundation emails. Isn't that interesting? Wow, isn't that interesting? So, you have it's so overt. The criminality is just so overt, and the setup, you're looking at everything, and you're saying, well, there are people who want to promote, and by the way, Clinton's running again, 13 minutes in, you gotta give me props. She's running again. When people say, it doesn't look like she is, yeah, it doesn't look, what do you think, she needs to debate Eric Swalwell of all people? You think she needs to debate Beto O'Rourke? No, she's waiting for people to just, leave, and then you're stuck with the Botox cadaver. Okay. Uncle Joe. And then Warren, who failed her DNA test. And then Willie Brown's friend with benefits. And that's not my word. Willie Brown talked about that. He's like, yeah, it's fine. And by the way, he wrote, San Francisco mayor, one of the most powerful, influential people in the Democratic Party, nobody can defeat Trump, including the California senator. Who do you think's going to run and defeat Trump? It's not about defeating Trump. They don't care if they lose. It's not a political movement. It is the Democratic Party, media, liberal, progressive, left-wing ideology is the plaything. It's the extension of Bill and Hillary Clinton. My extension. That's what I'm talking about. Why don't you? I can talk more about my extension if you want. What are you doing later? That's it. And people say, get over it. Oh my God, you're obsessed. No. Stop with the charade. Stop it. Stop it. Stop believing the charade. Stop it. You know? Stop it. All of this, the Steele dossier, to Clinton running, to Trump being, this bad person, and media. Clinton learned, after losing to President Obama, that the media and intel chiefs had to be on board with her for her to even get close in 2016, because she thought she was going to win, and I said in 2015 she would lose, the only person on the left to say that. Now I'm saying she's going to run again because she is. I might be the only person anywhere that's saying she's definitely going to run. I'm not right about everything, but I'm right about most things. The Mueller probe was a bunch of nonsense. Sessions, everything. So, I have the pulse of what's going on. I'm telling you, Clinton is running again. And there's a reason she hasn't, officially, well, she's stated it numerous times in different ways, but there's a reason that you haven't heard about it. It's because she's waiting until either after the second or the third debate, when Democrats realize they're up the creek without a paddle, because she's put them there. The chaos and the mayhem and the AOC hilarious publicity creation versus Pelosi, another hilarious political creation, that's all Clinton, the madness that she's created. But anyway, give me your thoughts below. Dan Coates is out. We're going to have a new ODNI chief, basically a new version of Clapper that is hopefully going to be loyal to Trump. Give me your thoughts below. Share this segment. Thank you very much. If you want to support my voice below, my Patreon is below in the pinned comment. My Jerusalem Post article on AOC, please share that. Very important. Please share that everywhere. That's in the pinned comment. And my latest Federalist article as well. Thank you.